Hi folks, and welcome back to the allotment. We're just kind of passing through today. Jess and I have been on some errands. Hey, it's another video featuring Jess, hooray! And I thought I'd bring you up because it's actually been 2 days since I was at the allotment, which under normal circumstances would be very usual. But with my new kind of renewed enthusiasm and attendance at the plot, 2 days away feels absolutely crazy. And we're now at that time of year where 2 days away, you come back and everything has changed in your greenhouse and all the seedlings have exploded. Just down here, for example, this mystery pot, we weren't sure what this was, if it was marigolds or cosmos, and they're definitely marigolds and they've like doubled in size since I last saw them. And the same is true of these little pots of lettuce down here. The same is true just everywhere I look though. These trays up here with the tomatoes and the spinach, everything just growing with kind of renewed vigor and just energy, you know, just everything is going kind of crazy at the moment. Down here, this Amara kale, I think these are like mini kale or something like that, that has literally just gone poof, crazy. The potatoes too in the buckets, look at these. It's just suddenly at that time of year where it feels like everything is kind of turning into a jungle. Look at these sad cosmos plants starting to flower already. Absolutely appalling. Jess is going to be planting those today in her raised bed. Unfortunately, no germination just yet on all of those squashes and the sweet corn that I planted in the last video. But down here too, this tray of brassicas all looking really healthy. The seedlings down here looking amazing. But just up here, we have the main event, and this is the main thing that I wanted to come and see today, is this strawberry. Look at the lovely colour. I'm trying not to shade it, and it's just not quite ripe. I'm going to leave this one more day, but I did have a comment as well. Thank you for holding it, Jess. I did have a comment saying, what are you doing leaving it on the floor? Put it up nice and high. That was from Simon at Duff Farming, so thank you. Very good tip. But basically, it's becoming very apparent that the main task that I need to do is actually spending a bit of time in the greenhouses, just potting on and like potting stuff up, because there's just so many things that really now are bursting to get into bigger pots. I think, I didn't even show you the cabbages. They look ready to explode. But I do as well, though, have to let you in on a little secret. Jess and I were just at the garden centre. We were there, we were getting a present for your friend, weren't we? Yeah. What was it? A peony?
I got 2 peony plants.
Jess's favourites are peonies and hydrangeas, but I couldn't resist it when I saw them. Now, it's not much, but I have a little bit of a rule for myself that I don't tend to buy vegetable starts, and this might be a first for the channel. You know, there might be some fans out there that have seen all the videos who will correct me, but I don't think I've generally bought vegetable starts. How am I going to record it? Through the wood? Jess is telling me that there's a fox the other side of that compost bay.
No, he's over here now.
This is riveting footage, isn't it?
By the... Oh, well, you can't see him, you're too low.
And now Jess is sneaking up on the fox, trying not to make it jump. I cannot see what you can see. So cute, apparently. Okay. Yeah, Jess is done bothering the foxes. But I always get loads of comments saying, did you see the fox? And I always do when I edit. They're very, very friendly on this plot. But anyway, the onions. So as you might remember, my onions this year were a complete and utter failure. And I just saw these, I can't remember, they were like £1.50 a pack or something like that. And I thought, you know, let's give it a go. And I saw, it was in a deal, 4 for whatever. I saw some red cabbage too, which I've never tried to grow from seed. And I just thought that would be a nice little one to give a go. So our hopes for onions are not yet dashed. But yes, really just here to check on the strawberry, drop off the new starts. And I've just dropped off some, I don't know if you can see Jess pointing. I was looking down here for some bamboo canes that I've just bought for the French beans. And Jess is pointing at herself because I think she wants to show you the flower. I think she wants to show you her flower bed.
Hello, and welcome back to my flower beds. JP has asked for my assistance. He's saying, look at the starlings, very cute.
This is like wildlife hour.
Wildlife hour. Do I have to press anything to focus?
You tap on the lizard to focus on the lizard. People might wonder why I always have like a really messy section of the plot, and this is where I put lots of timber and lots of other things because it's a brilliant wildlife refuge essentially. We get lots of lizards in here. It'll be good for frogs as well when I eventually get the pond, but it's really good for kind of lots of things that predate your pests, although it does look a bit messy.
Hello and welcome back to my flower beds. I can't tell if it's been a week or 2 weeks, maybe like 10 days since I planted things here, but I thought I would give you an update. Absolutely nothing. We love to see it. We've got obviously the sweet peas that I planted. It's been really dry since I planted those, so they haven't really done anything yet, but I'm hoping that they will. If you like the frame I built. On this side, also nothing, but I will weed the little bits of grass and the few weeds that have come through. There are also some stocks over here that are doing very well, and a wild JB appears.
I've just brought Jess something else to plant.
Oh, is it carrots?
Carrots? Oh, I guess it does look a bit like carrots.
What is it?
Cosmos.
Cosmos. Oh, okay. We will plant the cosmos in this corner. I did also plant some anemones that a commenter kindly told me to plant, and they're very pretty and I'm very excited.
Where do you want this?
Let's show them. Here.
You're going to plant that cornflower too? Yeah.
Yeah, in that bed's fine.
They'll get really big.
That's fine. Oh, I cut your head off completely.
They'll get really big. I just realised there are two other things. This really was meant to be like 2 minutes on the plot, but I've just remembered the other reason that we came up. Two other reasons. One, we have a perennial disagreement about those gravel trays that sit under plant pots, and Jess is convinced that I've stolen all of her gravel trays and they're all at the allotment.
True.
Maybe true. So we've got to hopefully try and find a few of those so Jess can start some plants at home. And as well, I need some timber because I've perhaps foolishly told Jess I can quickly knock her up a cold frame. Back at home, everything is very much in its looking worse before it looks better stage. But at the back of the garden, I have tucked away a bit of timber. And the idea is this is our south-facing side, so I'm going to try and knock up a bit of a cold frame either for here or down the other end. I mentioned in yesterday's video that we were painting fences, and what a bloody ordeal it turned into. 2 days, 4 panels painted. It's just one of those things where just cascades of problems. Basically, it turns out though that most of the fence panels are pretty kaput. We had a storm a little while ago and these 3 all broke in quite a major fashion. So there we were like, okay, right, let's do a bit of repair work, paint the fences, and then we realised that all the ones down there are all pretty much beyond repair as well. So we've had to hit pause, and now I can't find any blooming fence panels that are reasonable and actually good quality. So, just a nightmare stuff. Here's another one. Over winter, I did actually replace the roof. Oh, hello, magpie. I did replace the roofing felt on this shed, and I gave the front a quick tickle with what was left in the paint tin, just because this is kind of the most exposed side, and it's the bit that we can see. But this is bad compost pile. You know, we were just at the allotment looking for timber, and I thought I had a lot more. This is all kind of pallet wood, and there's a bit hiding down here as well. Oh, here's a nice little thing to show you as well, my garlic. So I am actually doing some garlic in pots, and these went in, I think, September, and just into some little troughs. But I think I'm pretty happy with these. The squirrels did dig them up quite a few times. So they've not had the easiest life, but a bit of manure mulch as well has kept the weeds down. I've really not weeded those in a long time, so I'm intrigued to see how they come. And look at these forget-me-nots in Jess's raised bed. I just adore these. They self-seed very regularly. Some would think of these as weeds, but we're just so happy. This is probably a good place for the cold frame, so let's get some timber out and have a go. I do actually have a fair bit of pallet wood timber here, but the fun thing about pallet wood timber is not only is it rarely the same length, certainly not the stuff I've got here, but generally speaking, it's not going to be the same width either. And that makes working with it really hard. Here you might be able to see there's just a little overlap. So if you put these two, for example, on top of each other as a side, then it's not going to match up with anything else. And the other fun thing is the timber that we just found at the allotment. There were some nice big bits that I was going to use as the kind of corner posts, and just left it there, didn't I? Completely forgot to pick it up. At the risk of jinxing something, so far so good. I've just cut all of these to roughly the same length. These are going to form the front and back, and fortunately it doesn't really matter if these ones aren't the same width, because obviously you want the back to be higher than the front to get that nice angle for the sun, but the shorter side pieces, getting those to be actually level, that might be a little bit trickier. But I have managed to find a couple of kind of little bits kicking around the shed, which should make a nice kind of lid, you know. I don't have any hinges, so I might have to do that later. But this should kind of form a nice rectangle around the top that lifts up, and this is what I'm going to attach my plastic to. I should say as well, the purpose of this is mainly for some potted things and Jess's bulbs, because it's kind of half cold frame, half squirrel defense. Whenever Jess plants bulbs, they just inevitably get dug up by squirrels, and whenever she tries to put wire or whatever on top, they just get through. She's wanted a cold frame for ages, and she keeps seeing the really expensive ones in the shop. I've been saying for ages, no, don't do that, I'll just build you one. So today I've actually got to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm trying to make one. A little break because the drill ran out of battery. Absolutely amazing. So I've just had a stroke of luck. These are the boards that are going to become the two sides, and I've just gone, okay, well, let's go 4 high because that's going to match the back. And I've been trying these in various different configurations. It's like a puzzle. But with these 4 boards on that side and these 4 boards on this side, they're pretty much bang on 37 centimeters. So that's kind of good enough. The front panel there is just coming together. I've got 1 corner post on it. That one's going to go on. And then I've got to do these. And then at some point I'm going to have to do the dreaded triangular cut where I take a triangle off one of these boards or maybe 2 of the boards to make sure it's got a nice actual slant on the top. But we're making progress, So definitely more fiddly than I anticipated, and of course more time consuming, but so far so good. It's just started to take shape, which is really nice. I've got the first side together, this is the front and this is the back. Currently just held together slightly with some kind of metal strapping, but I'm really happy with this. This was the precision cut to give me a nice angle between the front and the back, and oh, it looks really good. I do need to add maybe a bit of more support for this because it's just in that upright. But basically it's now just a case of doing that on the other side, then screwing it all together. So long as I get the cut the same angle, it should be then simple enough for me to just make a super quick little frame that will hinge onto the back there. And I've had some plastic that has just been laying around in the shed for ages and ages that I'm finally going to get to use. It'll need a little bit of a clean, but I think it should scrub up okay. I would love to carry on, but unfortunately it's Friday evening, and I'm being summoned to the pub. So thank you ever so much for watching, and an extra special thank you to my Chili Pepper tier patrons, Tony, Bill, Louise, Pam and Michael. I'm really happy with today's little bit of progress, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing the plot as well.